I've lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, my entire life. Nevada, my entire life, and I saw this video cross upon my page.
Las Vegas today is an absolute ghost town. It went from being a larger-than-life dream vacation for most Americans to becoming everything that's wrong with modern society.
Okay, off rip, we're wrong. Off rip, a little bit wrong. Just from my experience, right? From my experience, Vegas. Okay. He'll probably get into like the housing and who's living here recently, but I don't think it's a ghost town. Like, I've been on the strip late at night. Obviously, like bigger events, like if it's a UFC or a sports night or something like that, it will pull in a lot more people. But I wouldn't say like necessarily that it's like a ghost town now. During the day, obviously the strip is dead. It's fucking hot. We live in 100+ degree weather 24/7. You know what I mean? But like when it's nighttime, I feel like it's pretty poppin'. But like I don't really like go out. Like I'm not 21 yet. Just a little bit. Okay, I'm just a little boy.
They're just ridiculous.
Okay.
Everything is insane.
The Desert Inn, that's gone. Mirage is gone.
Prim.
Everything
Prim
is
just got
gone and different.
It's not hard to understand why tourism is declining more and more each year when you have to spend $30 per day to park at your hotel, then you wait in a 2-hour line to check in, only to not even be greeted by a person.
Because I'm a local, I feel like it's probably a little bit different, but like the parking thing is like normal, like across the board. Like, or across like the land, like parking is like chill. If you're a local, you get your parking free for the first 3 hours at most hotels, right?
But rather a kiosk. Later, when you're burning up in the 100-degree desert, you'll have to pay $14 for a water bottle to cool down. And if you somehow manage to avoid a car accident,
just go to a Smith's, bro. Like, this is like wholly like outside. You're LARPing, bro. Don't disrespect the big LV like that, bro. You're LARPing.
Being distracted by the $4 billion sphere that is polluting the sky with blinding LEDs. You might
actually, at nighttime, it's actually kind of crazy. I remember when I was but a young lad. Like, when you looked out, there was like not that much light, but like now when you look out into the sky, you see the strips, all the lights on the strip, the sphere, the lights from like I don't know, there's like lights that like illuminate. Like, no shit, bro, that's what lights do. I don't know how to explain it, but there's like lights that like they show like flashing. Okay, I'm done, bro. I'm stupid. They disrespecting the real LV. All right. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm saying, but I don't think this is really accurate. I don't really think this video is that accurate so far.
That iconic and charming hotels are being demolished while crowds of people cheer for its demise.
Right. I wouldn't say we're wrong with society. Don't say that about the big LV. This is preposterous. Ooh. Okay. I feel like that's like fine though, because like we're gonna
about people being
break that down and build stuff like new.
Excited to see the old Las Vegas get turned to rubble, is they don't realize the new Vegas being built is not for them at all.
All right, let's see, bro.
Because the downfall of Las Vegas is actually by a calculated design. And let this video be a warning,
bro? This guy's
because now that they have the blueprint, corporate overlords are going to execute their plan in your favorite cities all over the world. Las Vegas was in desperate need of a rebrand in the 90s, as it was still seen as a sinner's paradise in the middle of the desert.
It still
Old
is.
Vegas
Let
was
it be
the
known.
ideal
It still
location for
is.
men between the ages of 30 and 65 to pick up prostitutes, get wasted, gamble, and see artists like Elvis Presley or Frank Sinatra. The heart of the Vegas experience was to give guys a reason to abandon their morals for quick and shallow pleasures. And because it was an isolated place from the rest of civilization, visitors felt like they could use Vegas as a way to unleash their desires before returning home and pretending like nothing ever happened. But none of this would have been possible without the oversight from the Italian mob. They treated it like a criminal playground, burying bodies out in the sand and settling turf wars while giving guests the illusion of safety in what became known as Sin City. A past mafia informant for the feds named Andrew Del Monte has gone on record admitting that the organized crime was rampant, but the average tourist had no idea because they were distracted by the glitz and glam.
I mean, I feel like that's everywhere. Like, I feel like crime exists like everywhere. Like, this is like such a weird like thing to harp on. Like, I don't know. Crime is
they knew your name.
Organized crime, at least, is everywhere.
They knew what your favorite drink was, things that you like to do, a show you should like to go to.
But once the mob was eventually chased out of town, all that was left were racially motivated gang wars, kidnappings, and other filth that nobody was interested in spending hard-earned money to see. And this is where the new king of Las Vegas, Golden Nuggets Steve Wynn, saw an opportunity to change Vegas from a boys' club into more of an adult Disneyland. He was one of the first to conceptualize the a mega resort, something that would welcome everyone to a special experience and define the Las Vegas Strip for the next 35 years. Steve broke down the resort experience into a science, focusing on grand architecture and decor that made Vegas more of a glamorous vacation for the middle class.
I would say it's like really cool walking into these big buildings. Like, obviously, like, I've lived here my entire life. I'm not LARPing like this guy, but like, I've lived here my entire life, and it's like, these buildings are very beautiful, but at the same time, for like a local going in, I feel like there's not much stuff for us to do that we haven't already done, and I think that's why maybe tourism's dying. Like, if there was like more stuff for like a reason for us to drive through 40 minutes of construction and traffic to get into these buildings and these strips and these casinos, like, then there would probably be more of an influx of people. But because it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity and people travel from all across the world to get over here, I was thinking about that. I was at a party on like 2 Saturdays ago or something like that, and I was just looking out into the strip, and I'm like, dude, it's nighttime, it's beautiful. I'm a little, like it's like, dude, like, we low-key live like in a beautiful place. Life is pretty beautiful, eh? So it's like, I kind of like understand why people want to come here all the time, and like why this is like the hot spot of the world, and gambling, and I love Las Vegas, Nevada, but I don't know, like, for like locals, it's like there's like not much to do, I feel like. Thoughts? I don't know.
But he isn't all that interested in gambling. His passion is creating the resort.
He's satisfied with the way the light is hitting our flowers.
He works closely with his design team and signs off.
From a tourist perspective, there isn't much to do going on this trip. Yeah, no, we got a bad spawn for sure. We got a bad grid spawn. Bad seed. Because it's like, very true. Very true. I mean, from a tourist perspective, like, I feel like there is stuff to do, though. Like, if it's like once in a blue moon, like, yes, it's like fine. But like for us little skibs that just like live here, like, it's just like whatever, like, why, it's just a normal city.
Up on nearly every detail.
So that's
I love this restaurant, Roger.
Why do you focus so much on how it looks?
I can't help myself. It's a sickness. My doctor says if I take my medication, I'm no danger to anybody but myself. I can't help it.
Okay,
Projects that Steve and his collaborators worked on could be compared to what the UAE did for Dubai. The first was the Mirage, which had a classier feel along with a water and fire light show coming out of an artificial volcano. But what really altered the trajectory of Vegas nightlife was the opening of Excalibur by Circus, which was built like an actual castle in the middle of the Vegas desert. The entire structure was designed like a medieval theme park for children.
Like, every time you go in, because like, to be fair, I'm guessing this guy's point is like, oh, it's dead now and blah blah blah. Like, it's true. It really does like look like the back rooms. Like, let me look up like the Excalibur. Like, inside, it, like, on an off day, it deadass looks like the back rooms. Like, let me see. Dude, like, fucking make it, like, look dark and scary. Ah, dude, if I had pictures, I would show you. But, like, us Vegasans know, us Nevadasans know,
That also happen to have hotel rooms and slot machines to keep the adults engaged. These mega resorts also provided entertainment for the whole family. There were magic acts and performances from icons like Tiger Tamers, Siegfried and Roy, and Excalibur had everything from fire-breathing dragons that emerged
right now,
from
but I need you to stream for a good 3 to 4 hours. Alright,
I can do literal that. I can arenas where men would dress up as knights in the Tournament of Kings. Over the next 10 years, elaborate mega-themed hotels and massive luxury casinos were becoming part of the new Vegas identity. Harrah's, the Flamingo, Bally's, Paris, Bellagio, MGM Grand, New York, the Egyptian-styled Luxor, Mandalay Bay, and Treasure Island dominated the city skyline. And while prostitution, petty theft, drugs, and other crimes were still rampant, the Dubaiification of Las Vegas made the city look like an entirely new product. But before we dive deeper, at this point in my life, the most important thing to me is my health. I might have ignored some things in the past because finding the right doctor can be a hassle, but your health matters. Thanks, ZocDoc.
Dude, thank you, ZocDoc. Appreciate you guys.
Steve Wynn recently reflected on why 90s Vegas was something unique compared to the rest of the world.
It was about freedom. People live a normal life at home. Then they'd set aside some money, a budget, and that money would be used to go to Las Vegas, spend it the way they want, live big, get a little crazy, stay up late, drink, go to shows, maybe gamble, all the bright lights, freedom of Las Vegas.
He sounds crusty.
Behave a little crazy. The town gave.
Dude, who is he looking at? Who is he looking at?
Yourself. And we don't do that every day in our normal life. We pay attention to things. We live disciplined. Go to work. Take care of business.
Who are you? You, bro. This guy, dude. How much is James Wynn worth? Let's see. He's probably worth like Let's predictions, y'all. James Wynn Casino net worth. This guy is probably like 8 bill, 6 to 7 bill. Oh, no, not the guy. Wait, is his name not James Wynn? Wynn founder. Wynn Resorts. Okay, but founder Steve Wynn, 3.7 bill. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. Dude, casinos are very like this guy talking about. Oh, we gotta go into work. Chill, bro. You haven't worked a day in your life for like 30 years. Relax, dude.
That was the secret of Las Vegas.
That's the secret of Las Vegas. You sound like fucking
change. People were free to
Kennedy
spend the money they wanted. They could eat in fancy restaurants or go to shows.
I actually forgot. Robert
stay
Kennedy.
Late, even gamble.
Even gamble. Even gamble. Why do you make that sound like that's the off one?
That not change. People were free to spend the money they wanted.
Gamble.
They could eat in fancy restaurants or go to shows.
Why are you acting like
late, even gamble?
Even gamble.
Their choice.
All right, bro. Acting like that's not the one thing
90s
people were
Vegas sent a
doing.
message to Americans that a working family of 4 could have a fun vacation without going broke. You could eat like a king in budget-friendly buffets and restaurants while the kids ran off and played at the nearest arcade. If you didn't have the money to buy a ticket for a show, you and your family could simply walk down the strip and catch the Treasure Island Pirate Show for free. Or you could bring a date to watch the Bellagio fountains. This is exactly what made Vegas seem like a magical place. Even if you didn't win big gambling, you still walked away with an experience that was well worth the money. One travel blogger
dude, one thing that I do
19...
like about the strip is like when you enter it, it is low-key like you're entering like a different landscape. Like I cannot lie. Like you're entering like a restricted zone that's like level 50 or something, and everything else is just like normal. Because traffic, the homeless people, the drugs on the street, the needles I've seen on the ground. Oh my gosh. All right, bro. Like it's just definitely like dystopian world, but it's like I feel like that adds to the point. Like it is Sin City at the end of the day. Like you can't erase that from like the history of like Las Vegas. But I don't know. I think
99 Vegas saying, I took my first legal age trip to Vegas with a friend. We stayed 5 nights at the Manor House at Circus Circus for $100. The package came with 2 buffet coupons, a blackjack match play, and other freebies. Coupon books were treasure maps, leading us from one free drink to the next. The Sahara had $1 blackjack tables.
Sounds like a great
I stretched
time to be. What are we
$40
complaining
into
about?
hours of play, with free drinks to boot. The Stardust ran a promotion. Spend $50 at any restaurant and get 2 show tickets, plus 2 drinks each. My friend and I could barely hit $25 a piece at the Mexican restaurant, even with 32-ounce margarita mugs. An experience this cheap was almost too good to be true, but the reason it was possible was because dozens of independently run casinos were competing to give you the best deal. Something that feels almost entirely gone in our modern world now that private equity owns literally everything. Every hotel, restaurant, and casino had to fight for your attention, which meant cheaper rooms, better comps, more generous odds, and experiences that felt genuinely worth your money.
Makes sense.
The actual great part of capitalism people don't talk about is when there's a lot of competition between businesses, the customer actually benefits. But the second that competition starts to disappear, corporations will destroy the thing you once loved and rebuild it into an overpriced machine designed to extract as much money from you as possible and make you miserable in the process. By the year 2000, many of these casinos and hotels were becoming dissatisfied with running their own individual operations, so a mega corporation was starting to form. The Park Place Entertainment Corporation was formed when Hilton Hotels Corporation split its lodging and gaming operations.
Las Vegas is everything wrong with society.
Into 2 separate companies, accomplished through a tax-free distribution of Hilton's gaming division to its stockholders. The move gave them control over Flamingo, Bally's, Paris, and the capital to purchase Caesar's Palace. Soon after, Steve Wynn sold his company, making MGM Grand become MGM Mirage, which now had control over Bellagio, the Mirage, Treasure Island, MGM Grand Resort, and New York, New York. But if you were a tourist,
so I guess this video doesn't really. Like, this guy's only focusing on casino stuff. When are we going to get into, like, the meat and potatoes, bro?
Early 2000s, you probably had no idea that a couple
like, who cares if the fucking casinos are corporate, bro? Like, honestly, like, at the end of the day, like, everything's corporate, man. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you're always, like, all these things, of course, start out as, like, everyone is doing it for the love and the passion, and then it gets corporate and smaller over time and all these things. And then things start to change. Okay.
Millionaires were playing a game of Monopoly to take over the Vegas Strip. The whole city was peaking as the ultimate American playground with jugglers, dancers, magicians, zoo animals, and massive gardens. Plus, most of the outdoor entertainment was completely free. People would be kicking back in their hotels and seeing ads with restaurant prices that seemingly don't exist anymore.
And check out these Santa Fe Station values. 2-for-1 fajitas in Cabo Mexican restaurant. 99-cent margaritas every day in every casino bar.
Marketing teams like R&R Partners came up with the slogan, "What happens here stays here," or "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas." They marketed Vegas to make itself look like the American promised land.
First, there was the ancient Nevada desert. And then an extraordinary vision.
Dude, this is so old. Sorry, my TikTok's in the bottom right. Dude, this is so old. Who gives a frick, bro?
Where wildlife could thrive. Of championship golf courses. Of magnificent homes. Of grand luxe resorts. Of a lifestyle.
Dude, holy. Oh, Lake Las Vegas. What the heck?
While these mega resorts
Lake
attracted
Las Vegas is beautiful. What's the point of this?
younger crowds and families with incredible deals for a luxury experience, the older hotels that had become Vegas landmarks were priced out and destroyed. Visually stunning hotels like the Hacienda, Aladdin, El Rancho, Augusta Tower, Castaways, Bourbon Street, Boardwalk, Stardust, and New Frontier that had been around for decades were being demolished one by one.
I definitely don't even remember like seeing these as a kid.
You couldn't compete
so it's like,
with the new
as
Vegas.
like a citizen, I feel like you're just like fine. But I get it. It's just like, it's just business. Like, this is like, okay, casinos are like supposed to be degenerate, bro. Casinos and like this like whole industry of like entertainment and prostitution and gambling and all these things are like the height of capitalism. So of course these big businesses are going to be dominating for market share and land space. And I guess that's like the point that he's trying to make, obviously. But like everything wrong with society, holy clickbait, bro. Like I feel like we're fine. Us Las Vegasans are okay, right, guys? But yeah, like of course things are gonna get broken down and rebuild, and things are gonna become anew.
There's something kind of cool and dystopian feeling about massive buildings falling, followed by clapping.
This is all LARP.
Cheering.
This is all
Las
LARP.
Vegas was being built bigger and more luxurious than ever, but nobody realized the final product was never meant for us. Leading into 2010, the illusion of choice was strong in Las Vegas. Now there were only 2 companies that owned the mega resorts on the Las Vegas Strip: Caesars Entertainment and MGM Resorts International. Vegas had transformed from a ton of individual businesses into a corporate monopoly. The classic older architecture that had defined Vegas was being replaced by sleeker and more modern luxury buildings like the Cosmopolitan with over 3,000 rooms,
but like,
large theaters,
dude,
and
just look at the Strip at night, bro. Like, let's see, like Las Vegas Strip 2026 at night. Let's see. Dude, it's so beautiful though, regardless. Like this sleek look, I think it's the times, bro. We live in an age, bro. We live in an age. Like, dude, this is like so beautiful. Like, I think there's nothing wrong with this. Am I being like a drone? Maybe. This guy's just fucking walking around. This guy's IRL streaming. But dude, I just think it's beautiful. Like, I think this is so, let's see, open image in the tab. I think this is beautiful. Why did I just do it twice? I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Like, sure, they look sleeker and stuff, but there's still those remnants. Like, we have a fucking sphere, dude. And that's supposed to, like, capitalize off this fucking, like, Fortnite shit with, like, over-consumerism and whatnot and just, like, throwing stuff at you. And, like, you see this in real life. You see it in Fortnite. You see this in real life. You see it on the thing. Like, Stranger Things got promoted there. What else got promoted? Like, Marty Supreme. Like, all of this stuff. Like, I think that's cool. But obviously, like, I get it. Like, we're definitely, like, leading into, like, dystopian times where it's, like, advertisements are getting sold on there and all of this stuff. I see.
Classier restaurants. The Aria Resort and Casino looks like something straight out of Dubai.
Like, we can't
the
stop
lack of
this.
competition on the Strip started encouraging the few mega resort owners to engage in deceptive pricing. One of these was the start of resort fees. In 2008, MGM Resorts joined the bandwagon, followed by Caesars Entertainment in 2013 after a 2010
like half the people even like worried about this watching this video probably weren't even like alive to like visit Vegas during its prime time. So it's like,
campaign during which they boasted of no resort fees, and even had Holly Madison posing in a no resort fees zone t-shirt. A price war began, sending base room prices plummeting and resort fees skyrocketing. Now the latter are $56.69 per night at the Bellagio, $56.63 per night at Caesar's Palace, and at Circus Circus they're $41.95 on a room with a $43 weeknight base price. And when you find out what these fees are supposed to be for, you start to wonder why you're paying for them at all. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, they were originally intended to cover amenities such as access to pools, fitness centers, and wireless internet. Any normal person would question, aren't these amenities supposed to be built into the cost of the room? And yes, at literally any other hotel, they would be. What's insane is sometimes the fees would cost more than the room itself.
We found a few examples, including Harris, offering rooms for about $28 a night, but the
right,
resort
but like
fee
compare
is
this to like
$35
inflation
a
and
night.
stuff. I feel like
Bally's
it's
is
all
offering
following a
rooms
natural
tonight
thing,
for
right?
$30,
And
which is only
because and it is like a monopoly. Dude, I'm just like I'm over like complaining. Hold up.
And the Rio has rooms for $29 tonight, which is only $1 less than their $30 resort fee.
It's also messed up that some of these fees have been known to go to helping pay for online travel agencies, who are often provided a commission for guiding customers to the resort. At that point, the customer is not only paying for an experience they cannot even opt out of, but they're also paying for promotional tools to bring more business to a company that's not giving customers a good deal. YouTuber Jacob's Life in Vegas has been following the decline of quality and rising prices for years.
The party ended 2 years ago.
You know what we have right now on the Strip? We have over 30 individual hotels who charge $50 to $55 for the resort fee per night. So
That's crazy.
now
It's per night
more
too.
like a $99 room turns into a $175 room. Because remember, you pay the $99 room price plus the 13.38% room tax on top of that price, plus you pay the $55 resort fee, plus you pay another 13.38% room tax on top of the resort fee.
Now, their strategy is pretty obvious.
I don't know.
These hotels want to be able to list the rooms for a supposed great deal, $30, $50, and these days even $100 per night is considered good. But then they sneak in all these fees to the point where you're paying almost double what you thought you were going to spend. Slowly but surely, the middle class was being kicked out of Vegas. It was even getting harder to find something
The middle class is being kicked out of
something reasonably priced to eat. Buffets were changing from budget breakfasts and burgers and fries into finer dining experiences serving fresh crab legs, sushi, and quality desserts for big
But
spending.
it's like it's constantly trying to one up each other. Like you could say that with or say this with like anything, bro. Content, YouTube, movies. Like there's always bigger stakes, bigger this, bigger that. Because
and currently we're seeing the mass effect this has been having on budget spenders all throughout Vegas. Even the affordable restaurants all over the Strip are slowly dying.
One of the Las Vegas Strip's most beloved cheap food spots closed forever in 2024. For years, this place represented everything that made Las Vegas affordable to people who cannot afford five-star dining at every single meal. Ocean One Bar and Grill was the kind of restaurant where families could eat here without breaking their vacation budget, and locals would recommend it to tourists looking for a cheap place to eat. They were well known for having every item on their lunch menu cost just $4.99, and you could get 3 cocktails for $10. The writing was on the wall when the prices started to climb in the months leading up to the closure. You could see that they wanted to keep their prices as low as possible, but they're struggling to survive in an atmosphere where pretty much everything costs more.
Now the only way someone could get a decent deal in Vegas was if they were over 350 pounds, because at the newly opened Heart Attack Grill, anyone who is fatally overweight can get a free meal.
Back then, he told us one of the perks of the job is eating free. Anyone who is over
this is my kind of job, bro.
pounds doesn't have to pay.
Yeah, and you get like spanked and stuff there.
So why not? I don't eat here every day, so why not have fun with it and go with it as long as I can?
Sadly, we now know how long that was. Blair died last week at the age of 29. His family says the cause of death was pneumonia.
But as if pricing the average person out wasn't bad enough, now it feels like they are intentionally making the experience worse for anyone who isn't filthy rich or a high roller. With the widespread adaptation of new technology, Vegas is attempting to replace humans and whatever soul was left of the place. At the same time that luxury mega resorts started taking over Vegas, Caesars Entertainment and MGM resorts were making greater moves to control the behavior of their customer base. place. It wasn't enough that every hotel was designed to keep you trapped inside. They needed to find a way
You
into
have
your
like
smartphones.
the walls that never show darkness. It's always daytime in all these casinos because it's like trying to keep you engaged and like keep you like up and awake and like lose a sense of time. Like there's no clocks, there's no like indications that time is even existing, you know?
To track your movement before you even walk through the door. The Las Vegas Sun reported that they began using the technology in 2010 with apps developed by Macro View Labs of San Francisco. The apps allowed resorts to target users by GPS signal, offering different deals depending on how close they are to their destinations. A customer with the app on his or her phone may be having dinner at the Cafe Vetro at the Aria and receive a notice of a special in the casino. Someone in Tulsa, Oklahoma can use the Monte Carlos app to book rooms at the resort and make other travel reservations. And while this might seem like an innocent tool to help the customer find the best deals and tables, these apps were specifically created to trick people into thinking they have options when in reality they're just being advertised another company that the same business owns. The app's lead designer, Aaron Ezra, basically admitted to doing this by saying, the MGM Grand alone has Aaron Ezra.
Holy rat teeth, bro. This guy looks like a rat.
Basically admitted to doing this by saying, the MGM Grand alone has hundreds of pages of content. Along the strip, you're talking about hundreds of restaurants, hundreds of nightclubs, hundreds of casinos, and hundreds of activities. The individual apps also allow each resort to target its clientele in ways a shared app would not. It's all about being able to send the right information to the right person. In other words, he said, our multiple apps give our customer the illusion of choice. The customer doesn't realize this is a monopoly because every casino and hotel has their own app that's giving them a deal, when in reality all of that money flows back up to the same corporation. The long game for Vegas was finally clear. The mega resorts and cheap entertainment were never about the culture or the excitement. They were giant, beautiful mazes that are designed to be harder and harder to escape with every new building and app that came with it. And the experience for anyone who wasn't filthy rich just kept getting worse. Vegas started replacing humans with these apps and digital systems like self-check-in kiosks.
I guess I'm just now entering it at this time because now it's like I'm like 20ish or about to get 21, you know, like I've been to casinos obviously in my lifetime, but like 18, 19, 20, like it's just kind of been this for me. So I do understand, like it's always been like this for me. And honestly, it's not that bad. Obviously, it's like triggering like the rat like brain, like, oh my gosh, lights over here, go here and go spend $100 over there, or go here, go there. So
the goal
I get
is
it.
never have anybody wait more than 15 minutes, and we were far exceeding our goals by double during certain times of day and days of the week. However, they are trying to optimize something that doesn't need it. Checking into a hotel used to be a comforting part of the experience. You would talk to a friendly clerk, ask them questions about your stay, they might give you some recommendations. It can be a very pleasant interaction and oftentimes is the first person that you actually talk to in a new city. So sure, now it's faster. Wait, no, actually it's not faster.
People visiting Las Vegas are waiting 3 to 4 hours in line waiting to check into their hotel room, and often when they get to the front of the line, they don't even have rooms that are ready yet. This is specifically at Caesars owned properties. This is Paris, and I'm about to show you Horseshoe. They sell their rooms dirt cheap, so they're always busy, and then they staff 2 people to check in guests.
And now if you want
dirt cheap,
random tweet, bro.
And then they staff
Wait,
2
how
people
many? Okay.
Check in
Valid.
guests.
On the ground journalism.
If you want to beat the lines and check in early, well, you're going to have to pay for that.
The newest horrible ripoff are these crazy early check-in fees. Here at Caesars, I've heard $50 to $75. I've heard even higher at other places.
The corporate leaders running Vegas might want you to think people love the modern digital interface, but there are hundreds of thousands of reviews that say the exact opposite. I worked for Caesars for a couple years, and you are absolutely right about them being understaffed. The bathrooms are disgusting, and the guest waits for everything they need help with.
This is gonna be like a terrible like statement, but if you go to Vegas once a week, I feel like your stay is not gonna be that terrible. Like once a week in your life, like a year, once a week a year. Dude, most of the time people, there's so many places to go to vacation, bro. You go in the United States, you go outside of the United States. Why just pick Vegas, bro? If you don't like it here, just go somewhere else, bro. And if you do go here, I feel like it's just fine. Anytime I've been on the Strip, there's things that are bad. Homeless people, and they all look like some certain race. And what's it called? The traffic, and homeless people, the traffic, and just eliminate the homeless. What the fuck? Homeless people, the traffic, and I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much it. Like, every time I go in, the bathrooms are nice and well staffed. People are like at the door, like changing out paper towels and stuff in bathrooms. Like I feel like it's fine. Like just don't go to the Strip all the time, bro. It's Sin City, bro. It's supposed to be dirty and like degenerate, bro. So don't go there all the time. If you're looking
they
for
pack
something
in the value
cheap,
guests and bend over backwards for the big spenders. What was actually happening in Vegas was the same thing that was happening all over the world. Self-checkout lines have cut the number of cashiers in half, and yet we still see someone constantly having to repair them while costs for everyday goods continue to rise. We find ourselves in drive-thrus that are partly managed by artificial intelligence, only for them to glitch or shut down
I've never ran into one of these
delivery
things before. Okay, and parking. Parking's also the worst thing about Vegas, bro. Okay, I was leaving this one party on, like, was it Friday or was it Saturday? Was it that Saturday? It was Saturday. Bro, the parking was so bad. There was, like, 5 floors in the self-parking, bro. Each floor had, like, 20 to 30 cars trying to leave, and it's all self-checkout things at the bottom. Dude, I had to wait in that parking lot for 40 minutes, and I had work the next day. I wanted to shoot myself.
Promised faster service at lower prices, but all they really managed to do was eliminate the connection between restaurants and customers while charging fees that never benefit drivers. It's the promise of convenience while destroying all the human connection that actually is what gives us the most value, and corporate leaders laugh and line their pockets. Las Vegas is all of these issues on steroids.
Vegas is really, really expensive right now.
Is that your experience?
That is my experience. So this bottle of water was $14. So.
Okay, son, dude, just go to like a convenience store. I promise.
The entire planet has become a glorified amusement park for the ultra wealthy, with the rest of us forced to work as the staff. And just as you thought it couldn't get any worse, Las Vegas has decided to remind us every day how they have made every wrong decision by constructing the Sphere.
This guy.
In 2018, Madison Square Garden Entertainment Corp, or MSG, announced that it was working on a new project
goes on, this
called
is going to become like a cultural like phenomenon. I think it's like actually a very smart decision. Like obviously it shows like the worst of like commercials, like consumerism and all these things, but it's like it's just like cool. I don't know.
Vegas.
Like if we're just gonna go down this like wholly degenerate route, then like we might as well just like have fun
the structure
with it.
was going to be nothing like people had seen before. At 580,000 square feet, a capacity for 18,600 people, and the exterior would be almost entirely wrapped by state-of-the-art LED screens. The inside is also entirely covered by LED screens and 167,000 speakers to give the audience the most immersive experience money could buy. And with the cost of construction reaching as high as $2.3 billion, this was a Dubai-level mega project that definitely couldn't go wrong, right? Nothing could go wrong. Caesars Vici Properties swooped in and bought the land under the Venetian and the Sphere for $4 billion. And when it was finally finished in 2023, it really did look incredible. The visual effects were stunning, and it looked like the future of Vegas was going to be incredibly different from what it was before. The Sphere had no casinos, hotel rooms, space for conferences, or anything Vegas was known for. It was meant to be a pure entertainment center where locals and tourists could see their favorite artists perform with the backdrop of wild visual effects. But right away, the Sphere started encountering problems. For starters, it doesn't matter what venue it is, an artist has to be able to sell over 18,000 tickets for people to want to go see them play. And very quickly, the Sphere realized that selling out wasn't going to be that easy, which meant that artists who actually could sell out these shows had a ton of leverage.
Because the only things that can make it work are bands that can do residencies, folks like the Eagles, Dead & Company, or U2. You basically have very few bands that can be good tenants for a venue like this. So that creates a problem. If there's very few bands that can fill a place like this, then that means they have a lot of pricing power on a venue like the Sphere. They can cut really good deals, such that the venue doesn't take home as much money, say, as a normal venue would in your town or my hometown. The Sphere only works with bands that can do these residencies because of all the AV setup required. That means that there's just not that many nights a week you can fill this place. See, residencies don't work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays because they require people like me to fly in from other states or drive in from California to basically attend those things. It only operates a few nights a week with high volume, high margin kind of stuff like the concert I'm going to. The normal arena in, say, in your hometown or my hometown might be busy on Mondays or Tuesdays and making revenue. This bad boy, man, it's pretty much empty.
The Sphere lost $500 million the first year, quickly turning into a financial black hole. And this doesn't even account for the time spent creating and graphics for every new artist that performs inside of it. Even worse, there are a large number of seats in the venue where people who spent hundreds of dollars to see a show couldn't even see the entire screen. I mean, the whole point of going to the Sphere and paying the astronomical ticket prices is to see this magnificent screen. But even if you're just a die-hard music fan who wants to hear the performance, well, you might be disappointed, as many people who have sat in those seats report that the sound quality is horrible. Very quickly, the Sphere realized that concerts aren't going to pay the bills. The corporate owners have shifted almost completely to showing movies like The Wizard of Oz because pre-made entertainment cuts down on costs. And while the Sphere is captivating at a first glance, after a while it starts to become an eyesore. Golfers have to deal with a giant emoji trolling them after a bad swing. Blackout curtains at nearby hotels can't even mask the blinding LEDs blasting through the windows. Drivers on the highway at night have an increased chance of being distracted or crashing into another distracted driver. It's slowly being considered a safety hazard that pollutes the area with psychedelic advertisements.
Wild safety things happen in the vicinity of this project.
UNLV.
Aaron Breen specializes in pedestrian safety and says this first-of-its-kind project poses serious traffic safety risks with drivers.
Dude, the fucking construction that we have in Vegas, bro, that lasts for months on end is like a safety hazard, bro. Not this stuff, bro.
Stopping in the middle of the road, people running across lanes, all just to get the best possible view.
It's so much worse at night.
Maybe if the construction by UNLV, by the Strip, was already done, we wouldn't have to worry about this, because maybe it would be safer to take these pictures.
And dude, which makes it so much.
Construction is actually okay. Let me give y'all a sense, bro. To all you guys that are not LARPing, bro, or to the LARPers out there, bro. Las Vegas traffic and construction might be hell on earth. I'm so sorry. Like, I understand why people want to kill themselves, like when they're in traffic 24/7. Because like when I drive to UNLV, it can be like a 14-minute drive when there's no traffic. With traffic. Oh my gosh, Mateo's back in the stream, bro. Mateo's alive. Welcome back, buddy. Dude, that's crazy, Pool. The best mod. I forgot that you were a mod. But anyway, the worst traffic known to man. It can like be like 25-minute drive from like to my house, back home, going to school. And it's just because the construction is terrible. It's so terrible. Like, what are we building? What are we fucking building, bro? I don't know how else to describe it, but it's like, I understand why people want to die.
Because it's so much harder to see pedestrians and bicyclists.
Some places are even capitalizing on views like this parking ramp, charging people $20 to see it from this perspective.
And even though the Sphere is falling into financial ruin, it is just the beginning of many more luxury mega projects that Vegas is spending billions on, like the Formula One racetrack that runs through the city, the athletic stadium for $2 billion that's supposed to be open to the public in 2028, the Warner Bros. Sony studio plot, or the LVXP Resort Arena that has plans to make the tallest building in the state. Cold, sterile, luxury.
I feel like that's fine though. You like this guy's just describing like how or like the way that the world is going. And obviously it's unfortunate, but what more can we do? The only thing that you can do is just do what you want to do. Have your goals, sit down, grind, and just put your head towards something and stay in your lane. Because all this stuff is going to be happening. The fucking BlackRock and the Jeffrey Epstein and all the little corporations buying everything, and everyone's a sellout and we're all owned by fucking Big Pharma or whatever. Like, dude, this stuff's always going to exist. You just have to live. You just have to live. And it's like, all this sounds like just progress. In the 90s, it was fucking home to the mob, bro. Now it's like kind of getting more corporate and like people are still building. And now in the next 5 years, it looks like there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. Honestly, I find that like W. Like it's just like new.
With no soul.
It's always building and it's always improving upon itself. And I'm sure in 20 years' time, a bunch of buildings are going to get destroyed and new ones will get brought up and the cycle repeats itself. It's just what it is. Seasons, bro. I don't want to grow up. It's too scary, the video. Watch it.
And it goes far beyond the Las Vegas Strip. There have been major residential construction projects where Vegas has produced homes to encourage people to settle in the city. Vegas has been constructing homes at a
Vegas has been a little like, all right. Vegas is becoming a little ghetto. My area that I live in, not going to dox myself, but the area that I live in, definitely a lot more apartments, a lot more people moving in, especially from California. The exchange between Cali and Las Vegas is like this, because I mean we're like a 2-hour drive from one another. So people come here all the time, they live here, they buy apartments here. There's so many apartments now. So like lower income people come in and make everything blah, 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 blah. Like it's
getting
to that
dubbing
point.
Them luxury estates. Aerial photographs have been taken to show that these homes are soulless carbon copies sold for $2 million on tiny lots. They seriously look like someone constructed a massive assembly line to produce as many overpriced homes as they could. The rapid growth in and around the Strip has made the city incredibly compact and very disorganized. The mega projects make it look like Las Vegas is entering a virtually crime-free era, but it's becoming so tightly packed and densely populated that your $2 million home is usually just a few blocks away from some of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the country. Not to mention the countless stories of people putting their life savings into a home inspector's nightmare.
We received messages from homeowners across the valley that shared their own stories.
Fox 5, that's so interesting. Like, dude, this is my land.
I couldn't tell you the number of items. There's pages full, at least 6 pages full.
Mike and Olivia Crisella moved into their new build in the valley in December of 2021.
Won't open.
Some of the items on their fix-it list range from small to major. After it rained this summer, Olivia heard dripping in the wall.
When they came, they determined that our AC unit was reversed.
Holy lawsuit, you're fine.
Chris Ellick said there was stucco in the pipes, which caused everything to back up in the pan. The 2-week fix ended up taking a month to repair. They contact customer service and wait on trades to show up for repairs.
By 2026, the colorful and exciting resorts that made Vegas special are unrecognizable. Hotels like the Luxor have been hollowed out, and rooms are full of cheap, stained furniture that don't even fit the Egyptian theme anymore. Plus, these days, it's better served as a giant billboard than a luxury hotel.
Really, the whole room felt very tired and clearly had a note of cigarette smoke in the air, despite this, of course, being a non-smoking.
Like, bro, you live... Oh my gosh. All right, welcome to the world, bro.
Stench of smoke. But maybe the view would make up for it. Yeah, not really. Our window was located near the top of the building, but it was also behind the massive MGM Betts scrim, which meant our view was very obstructed and very difficult to see it. It also dramatically reduced the amount of light that would shine through. So much so that when I woke up the next day, I didn't even know if it was daylight or not.
Even for places like Circus Circus that still hold many of the old amenities, it typically looks like a depressing ghost town. Its center stage barely holds performances anymore, and the fair games are often completely empty. The Treasure Island's pirate show has been closed for years.
It gets broken down and filled with something else. Like, this is like the Sims, like Sim City, bro, or like City Skylines. Like, welcome, bro.
Now, there are still standouts that have mostly refused to transform into bland, colorless, overpriced monsters. The best example of this is Excalibur, which still has the classic buffet, low-budget entertainment, and the original decor matching its theme for families. And while it receives a lot of bad reviews for its room quality, it's not pretending to be something it's not. But sadly, it's one of the last resorts standing that reminds us of what Vegas used to be. By this point, the city is just trying to attract high spenders who won't question the prices and quietly push everyone else out. The truth is that appealing to the middle class simply isn't a desirable business model for a publicly traded company. It's much easier to automate the hotel experience and remove complimentary entertainment that affects the margins. If these monopolies own both the business and the land, it just makes more sense to partner with stadiums and massive structures covered in advertisements. They don't care if you're mad as long as their rich clients are happy. You'll start to see this in places all around America. Hotels will remove front desks and replace them with kiosks. Restaurants will raise prices to push out anyone looking for an affordable meal. Airlines will keep adding fees while making the base experience worse. Why? Because if people don't stop going, then why would they make the experience any better? They're doing this across various industries because corporate leaders have realized that even if they make the service worse and charge more for it, people don't stop giving them money. So there's literally no incentive to make the experience better. Even local entertainment will shift. Concerts, sporting events, and festivals will price out average fans and cater to more VIP sections and premium experiences.
No, but there will always be that like room for like the low man, like the layman or whatever. Like there's always going to be tickets for
stopping this world from becoming a playground for the ultra wealthy is if the average person actually stops giving these companies their money. The only logical solution,
but like you said, like the average person is still able to spend money here. Like the average person is still able to go to these places, enjoy them, and have a good time. Like
that could genuinely lead to change is to simply not go to Vegas, because as of today, they still need you way more than you need them. Just like the fast food industry, which once gave you more for less, but now is charging you much more
okay, I'm not watching your other video. Okay, that was a good video though. Good video. I enjoyed that one. I don't know. Vegas is changing for sure. I wish he talked more about like the housing industry and what's going on with that, and construction and traffic. Because I feel like to the average person that lives here, those are more pressing issues. I feel like everything, like pricing, like how much food is and all this stuff, I mean, that's just kind of gone up with time. I don't think that's just a Vegas issue, but like brain fart, bro. But like construction and housing and traffic and like crime rates, that's something that definitely like needs to be more center. This is just like commercialization and like consumerism like on steroids, and that it's a degenerate city, like Sin City, bro. Like welcome to the world. Like I don't know, I feel like it's okay, but Vegas on. I don't know. Like what if Nevada move on, or Nevada like lock in. I don't know. Nevada together. We're stronger together. Nevada strong. Yeah, that one. All right.